Hey guys, I'm back here again to pretty much bring you my thoughts on the first trailer for X-Men Apocalypse, which just recently dropped today. So, yeah, without any further ado, I'm just gonna dive right into this one and just pretty much share my thoughts on it and that. Because and kicking things off, I will just say, for an overall initial thought basis to kick it off. I actually really enjoyed the trailer. I really did, and that like I remember there was a ton of backlash going into it, and that with the whole look of Apocalypse and everything, because you had with Oscar Isaac playing Apocalypse, and then you had those kind of leaked trailer stills from Comic Con and that earlier this year, and it didn't look too great. And now I wasn't hating on it as much as most people, but you could clearly see that it still didn't look all that great, to be honest. And that you look at him from this trailer, from this first trailer for Apocalypse. And this is the first thing I'll touch on. Is the look of Apocalypse looks vastly better, in my opinion, looks vastly better in this first official trailer. And that now, I'm not sure what happened there. Did they? I think it was maybe the CG wasn't done yet. They were still working on the visuals and such, and that so he was probably not even. Yeah, that's my theory on what was going on there. Maybe they changed it with the after the backlash, but I doubt it. I think they were already right into things after at that stage. In that the backlash may have done something for sure, but I don't think it was is as major. I don't think it's as affected as majorly as people may um think it would have or would have, and that so. But saying that, Apocalypse does look much better in this trailer, in my opinion, and I think Oscar Isaac's voice for Apocalypse fits, and all I think he's looking rather good in this trailer, or rather evil, as one would say, and that, and yeah. As well as Apocalypse, I like the look of the new young X-Men and that with how it opens up. The trailer opens up with Jean, the young Jean, played by Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones, I believe. And I like how you have her kind of speaking about how she saw the world end, and all she saw could see is death, and her kind of dialogue with um, the what is it, McAvoy's Xavier. That's it, and to kick off the trailer and everything. And I haven't mentioned this before in my videos, and I probably will once I get to doing more Marvel movie videos or X-Men videos. But I absolutely love McAvoy's Xavier and Fassbender's Magneto. I'm big fans of these kind of the younger incarnations, as well as the old ones. But I'm a big fan of the younger incarnations for sure, and that. And yeah, going off of that, I apologize if my voice sounds a bit funny. I had a bad kind of nose and everything at the moment, but it should wear off very soon. And that, but I thought I'd throw my thoughts up either way on this trailer. And so getting into it more anyway. So you had the what is it? Sophie Turner, Jean Grey, to kick off the trailer. It's really nice to have Jean Grey back as well after what they kind of rushed into things in the original trilogy and that. But that's a topic for another day, of course. And that. And Storm looks pretty neat. I can't say I like it. I think a lot of people really are into the look of Storm because she's like, looks like Storm from like the old comics, kind of. If I'm not mistaken, she looks like Storm from somewhere, but I can't put my finger on it. But I know a lot of people were digging it because of that. I like the look of Storm, and I believe it's Alexandra Shipp who's playing Storm, which is neat. But the one that stands out for me are the young ones is we saw like maybe a couple brief moments with him in the trailer, but that is Ty Sheridan as Cyclops, as Scott Summers, and that well I assume it was Scott Summers, and it's Ty Sheridan. He is a brilliant young actor from Mud, I believe, and also Joe. I'm pretty sure he was in both those films, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he was. Ty Sheridan, great young actor, and I can't wait to see what he brings into this film as Cyclops, because I thought Cyclops could have been handled so much better in the original trilogy, and I hope seeing somehow just handles and just does more of him in this film, and we could see from the trailer he's going to be unleashing his kind of laser eyes once again, his heat vision of sorts once again, which I'm very excited about, and that and yeah, so I'm liking the look of all the young X-Men, and that I like how Rose Byrne is back in there as Moira McTaggart. I'm not entirely sure how that is the case because I'm pretty sure wasn't her memory like Xavier wiped her memories at the end of First Class, so I'm not sure how she's kind of being thrown back into things and that. But then again, like I'm not entirely. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We can see that she's helping them. Kind of, we get some information about Apocalypse from her. Like she kind of is one of the points in the trailer which gives us a backstory on Apocalypse about the Four Horsemen and how he was the first ever mutant on Earth or in the world and that, and all this. So she's giving us a bit of a point in the trailer for that and everything. And yeah, so I'm curious to see how she's weaved back into things. As well as that, you have I look at another young X-Men. I almost forgot. I look at what is it? What's her name? God, I'll come back to her. But there's Nightcrawler as well as Jubilee. That's it. You have I think a brief glimpse of her in there. I think, and Archangel as well. Who I think Archangel will end up being one of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, if I'm not mistaken. So, I think the Four Horsemen, from what I gathered from this trailer, Apocalypse's Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse are going to be Magneto, Archangel, Psylocke, and Storm. Yeah, and Storm, I'd say. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, and yeah, sorry about that. I'm just pretty much getting glimpses from the trailer, just looking over it again and everything. So those are pretty much the Apocalypse's Four Horsemen, from what I gathered. The lineup will probably rotate throughout the film and that. So and that'll be interesting to see of who gets controlled and who does these things for Apocalypse and that, like who gets controlled by him during the film. That'll be interesting. We didn't get much of Beast in the trailer. We got one brief glimpse at him, very brief, like a blink or miss kind of moment, and that like I think we got a shot of Nicholas Hoult in there, but not actual Beast, and that. As well as that, you get a kind of few shots of Quicksilver, a couple shots of Quicksilver in there, which I liked. Looks like I'm hoping we get another really cool kind of slow-mo scene like in the cafeteria or kind of kitchen scene in Days of Future Past, and that which I'm hoping they can maybe even what is it kind of beat that, kind of go to the next level if they can. That'll be very exciting to see if they can pull that off and all. Yeah, as well as that, I love the end of the trailer where Xavier's eyes start to go, his pupils start to go like fully black and everything, and he's all like, I've never felt power like this before, and that's like that excites me. That excites me with the whole apocalypse's reign over this film and everything, and then the very shot at the end where with a bald Charles Xavier or McAvoy Xavier, that's somewhat exciting. That gets me excited as a comic kind of comic genre kind of fan, to seeing him enter that Patrick Stewart kind of fold, or even pretty much just the comic fold of the character, which is really it's exciting. I'm curious to see when that actually happens in the film, because it looks like he's at least going to have hair for half of the film still, and that. And yeah, as well as that, I'm Apocalypse in this film looks great in my opinion. I think he looks much better in this trailer and that. I think some of the visuals still need a little bit of kind of finishing. The visuals don't look like they're too on point just yet, and that they look a little iffy at the moment. But it's the first trailer, and that's only that's only a couple brief glimpses when I'm looking back on it and everything. As well as that, that's pretty much the most part of what I want to cover. There might be something I'm forgetting. Will we see Hugh Jackman in this film? I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that we'll see Hugh Jackman in this film as Wolverine. It will probably be something like what his first class cameo was, though, something of the sort, and that I would assume, and that, but we'll see what happens there, and that because I think Hugh Jackman's setting up for his final Wolverine film in the third like his final role as Wolverine, said to be final role as Wolverine in the third Wolverine film in early 2017. So he's unfortunately doesn't look like he's going to have much of a role in this film, but I'm pretty sure he's confirmed for at least an appearance of some kind, and that which I'm looking forward to seeing, and I don't think we'll see him in the trailers at all, and it really boggles my mind seeing kind of people not complain per se, but kind of question saying, where, where's Wolverine? It doesn't feel like an X-Men movie about Wolverine and all this. Like, I can understand what they're saying, but most of these same people are the ones that are saying when Wolverine is in the film that the film is pretty much Wolverine and friends, and I'm like I don't know. That kind of boggles my mind. Like, I can understand your disappointment that Wolverine's not around, but most of those people saying that as well are the same people who claim that when Wolverine was in the film, such as Days of Future Past, it turned into like Wolverine and Friends and that, which is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's sad anyway, and everything. I can't say I agree with that, but like I can't say how I understand that per se. Actually, that's a better way to say it. I can't say I understand what they're saying, and that like with the whole Wolverine in the film. But yeah, running down kind of the looks at characters that I didn't mention. Xavier I mentioned. We had a cool look at him where he punches Apocalypse, and Apocalypse grabs his fist, and he kind of enlarges and gets kind of. I think would you say he's absorbing his power? Like, I'm not entirely sure what he's doing because I'm not fully familiar with Apocalypse, so that makes me excited as well. All I know is Apocalypse is like he's like the Thanos or Dark Side to the X-Men and that. And if you don't know who Thanos and Darkseid are, Thanos is like the big bad to the Avengers, like, and Darkseid's the big bad to like the Justice League, it's like Superman and everything. So that's pretty much what I mean, and that, and so it excites me to see what extents Apocalypse can go to, and how he's and this film and this film looks um like what I remember them describing it as quite a while ago, and that's like a superhero disaster film, and that excites me quite a bit. It's like a full-on disaster movie, kind of when apocalypse is raining down on the world. But the premise does remind me a little bit of Man of Steel. It's not the most original premises. We'll see if they can do a swing on it. I think the Four Horsemen aspect could be um, a kind of a new swing to it as well. They could do something with that and everything. But it kind of reminds me of Man of Steel, how he wants to destroy the world and build a better one. Like how General Zod wanted to destroy Earth and rebuild Krypton and everything. And and his eyes, Krypton would be better than Earth, and that, so it kind of reminds me of that. And so we've seen this kind of basic premise before, and that, but we'll see what else there is under the layers of it. Like, there's going to be more layers to it, I hope, and we'll see what else they have in store for us. As well as that, Michael Fassbender, brief glimpses of him in the trailer. He looks really good. It excites me that he's going to be one of the Apocalypse's horsemen. Magneto is going to be an Apocalypse horseman. That's exciting. Um, Mystique. It looks like Jennifer Lawrence is going to have quite the significant role in this film once again, like she has in pretty much the past two X-Men movies she's been in First Class and Days of Future Past. So it looks like she's about to pretty much have another significant role, looking like a leader of sorts to the young X-Men when young McAvoy or young Xavier's not around. When McAvoy's Xavier's not around, and that looks like he's like from the trailer, it looks like he's going to get captured or taken by Apocalypse and his horsemen and that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Uh, yeah. Not much else to mention. We mentioned Nightcrawler earlier, and this Nightcrawler looks fine. I'm glad we have Nightcrawler back around. We'll see how he acts in the film and that. Um, we saw a fair bit of Havoc in the trailer. He wasn't really doing anything, but we saw Lucas Till in the trailer more than I even thought we were going to. When he's the one who mentions the Four Horsemen alongside Moira, played by Rose Byrne. That was neat to see him more in the trailer and everything. Um, as well as him, yeah, that's pretty much it. I know Strike is meant to be back in this film, which will be interesting, and that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my thoughts on the trailer. It was a really good trailer. I really enjoyed. I think it's Apocalypse looks vastly better than what he did, and but it is a basic premise, and that wasn't the most exciting of trailers. But I thought they did their job at selling the film and selling people on it, and pretty much getting a general audience looking forward to it, and I think that's the important part of it all. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I like the trailer myself, and I can't wait to see what Bryan Singer has in store for us, because I think about three most just about every one of Singer's X-Men films I like, and the X-Men 1, 2, and Days of Future Past, and that. So he's done good in my books, and so yeah, we'll see what happens with this film. As for this trailer, I really enjoyed it, and if you managed to sit through this and listen to it all, I thank you very much for listening, guys. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.